We all want money, but we're all afraid of money. We're afraid of gaining it. We're afraid of losing it. We're afraid of spending it. We don't know what to do with it. We want to invest it. We don't know how to invest it. We follow investors. But I am here to tell you the number one mistake that investors make and how you can avoid it in this video. So stay tuned. Hi, humanity. Welcome back to another episode. In this episode, we're going to dig into what investment strategy is the best for you for the longevity and the most success in what you're looking to achieve in your personal life. Yet, before we dig in to exactly the method that you should be doing, and this is going to be very methodically done, let's first build a very quick visualization for ourselves, right? Okay, let's take your body, for instance. You might want to lose weight. You might want to gain weight. You might want a lot of muscle. You might want lean muscle. Everybody's health is different. Everyone's body type is different. So would you ever walk into the gym and follow anyone else's routine? What do they all tell you? Pick a sustainable model that works for you. You wouldn't follow another bodybuilder's guide in the gym, and you wouldn't eat what he eats, and you wouldn't do what he does. So why are we doing this in investment strategy? So let's take a step back and start at the beginning. The beginning starts with a business plan, right? What are your financial needs and goals? Now, don't say a lot and don't just throw out 30,000, 100,000, these numbers, people that love throwing out 10 million, these crazy numbers that have absolutely no resonance in your heart. So you're not going to manifest it anyways, right? Because you have no idea what those numbers mean. I mean, pull out a paper and a pen, go on Zillow, find your ideal home, write down how much it'll cost, the down payment, closing costs. Now you know how much money you need in order to buy that home. Think about, the bill that maybe will pay off someone's medical bills, or what will send your kids to summer camps, or maybe that golf set that you've been eyeing. Whatever it is that you want, write it down and get the list going and figure out how much money you need in order to buy what you need to buy, in order to make the money you need to make to live the lifestyle you want and to purchase the things you want. Get real. Is it $12,562 and 39 cents? Is it $158,000 a year, which is basically $10,000 a month before taxes? What is it exactly that you need? And get very clear down to that number. Call that school you want to send your kids to and find out the tuition, write that down. Those are the type of things you need to write down. Go to Whole Foods and shop as if you had all the money in the world. Go online. And this is what I like to do. Sometimes I go on to the most expensive fashion websites that I personally love couture and I love fashion. I know you could tell, right? But and I would just shop and shop and shop and fill my cart. And sometimes it's like, $40,000. And I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. Of course I didn't buy any of it, but it was a way for me to manifest, like, this is my style. These are the things I want. And it does come into life in other ways, but I deviate. Okay. So that's number one. Visualize exactly what you need and want for two reasons. A, you're going to get very clear on what you actually need to make, but B, you're going to be able to manifest it because it actually makes sense to you, right? Again, stop with these like, I want to have $100 million. Like, if you didn't grow up with people that have $100 million, you have no idea what that's like. They don't talk about money. It's never about money. Business dealing is more about buying and selling the vineyard and the family crest name. It has nothing to do with actual money. I've been around people like that. It's very different, right? So don't try to visualize what you can't visualize. Visualize what you can visualize and what's real for you, because then the universe can give that to you. Okay. So now pause this video, pause, and then come back when you're ready for number two, because this is neuroscience. Let's do this. Welcome back. Okay. Write these three words down. Grab a pen, write down cash flow, write down appreciation, and write down passive income / FIRE method. Okay. All right. Let's start at the beginning. Cash flow. Where are you holding in your life? Are you making $0 and you have zero knowledge of investment and you have zero friends in real estate? That's one category. Are you already an investor? Are you in one method and not the other method? Are you looking to get into it? Do you have a W-2 job that you make good money, but you don't know how to invest? Do you have a mutual fund? Do you not, right? There's all these different things to take into consideration. And I do these on coaching calls, but For right now, because this audience, I have no idea where you're holding, let's work this out a little bit together, okay? So let's start at the beginning, cash flow. Cash flow is when the money that's coming in, think of it kind of like your income, right? So you go to work every day and you make your salary at the end of the week, at the end of the month, and that is the money that's coming into you. The issue with that is that it's very much your hours for money. And so you can't scale it and you don't want to necessarily work anymore. I'm assuming if you're an investor, you probably want financial freedom. You probably want to retire soon. You probably want to be able to like do whatever you want during the day and then be able to invest on your free time or whatever it is that you're looking to do or bring in extra money. Whatever it is, cash flow is money coming in. It's cash flowing into your bank account. So that's great. Now, remember, cash flow is and does include active income. Active income does include real estate investments that sometimes people consider them passive, but they're really not, according to your accountant, like property management. Airbnb, which I do, is considered an active income. Don't ask. That's according to my accountant, but it is pretty active. I guess I could make it more passive and make it a little bit less, but it's active income right now. Appreciation is when you buy something for the goal that you know that it'll appreciate. You obviously still try to buy a good deal at a lower price than market value and maybe increase the market value with the renovation and then you refinance it. But whatever it is that you're doing, you know that this is a great property in a great location and it is really going to appreciate and do extremely well. Therefore, you buy that kind of property, right? The third one is passive income / FIRE method. The passive income is money that's coming in like your income, but instead of going to work and making money, the money is just coming into you now. So now the passive income and FIRE method is you want to consider passive income either for right now or for your retirement fund. That's why I lump them together. So let's say when you retire, you want to make $120,000 a year, which is $10,000 a month. So you have to find a way to buy enough property that will be paying $10,000 a month of rent a month. So let's say it's single family homes. So you have 10 homes, $1,000 per property, obviously has to be paid down. And then you're making $10,000 a month and done. It's that simple on a very basic level, right? It's that simple. So now that you know these three things, where do you hold? Do you have a W-2? Do you want to quit your W-2? Do you not have a W-2? Do you have money with a W-2? Do you not have money with a W-2? So the question is, do you have money? Yes or no? Do you have a W-2? Yes or no? And then what are your goals with it? Okay. So if, let's say, for example, your goal is passive income FIRE method because you want to retire and you want to make $120,000 as a retirement fund, that means you don't mind continuing working your W-2, continuing to save, living your current lifestyle, but this is an investment for the future and an investment for compound interest, all that stuff, right? For compounding, for making wealth happen. You could keep your job. And then what you could do is just focus on things such as the BRRRR method or multifamily investments, because those things are going to be paid down over the course of those years. But if right now you have no money and you don't want to get a job and you just want to go straight into this right now, you need to focus on cash flow, like maybe wholesale a deal. You can make $5,000 to $10,000 per deal. Maybe JV with like lease arbitrage with somebody, use someone else's apartment, get it going, put it on Airbnb, start making your profit right away, right? You need to focus on cash flow, right? You can buy a house to flip it. And then when you sell it, the money is yours. You use hard money lenders and you take the profit for yourself. And so those are quicker ways to make immediate cash flow. That's why number 2 was understand, do you need cash flow, appreciation, or passive income? And is it for now or for the future? When you are looking and crunching numbers on deals, it's very important to also make sure that you realize that if the numbers don't look that great, and let's say it's not hitting the metrics that you set for yourself, like let's say, for example, I don't buy anything that is below 12%, right? Return. So then in that case, if one is like 11%, but it has a major appreciation play because it's a great neighborhood, I have to say to myself and remind myself, Chloe, we're focusing on cash flow so that we can continue to buy more multifamilies. Therefore, stop and do not buy this property as much as your heart is like pulling towards it. Okay. I hope that makes sense. If that doesn't make sense, ask your questions below. I was going to make this into a quiz on my website just because I feel like this is the number one question I get. Should I wholesale? Should I BRRRR? Should I multifamily? Should I JV? Should I do Airbnb? Should I do Airbnb property management? What kind should I do? What should I not? And I'm losing a million things. Oh, real estate agents, and then there's flipping, right? There's 1.5 million ways to invest. Oh, and stocks and investment funds and mutual funds and all that. So now we get to number 3. Please don't forget to subscribe down below, hit the bell so you get notified when new videos come out. I'm not gonna have to explain to you why. Just do it so that we can get back to the video. Number 3 is, what is your personality like and what is your time availability like, right? If you have a full-time job, if you don't have a full-time job, what is your personality like? Do you have kids? Do you not have kids, right? So when you come to your personality, I always say it's very important to know yourself. That's why this channel, Real Deals by Chloe, is the real deal behind investing in yourself, mind, body, and soul. You have to take care of your mind and like hack that mindset. You have to take care of your body and biohack it and keep it energized and healthy and ready to go. Clear mind, sharp focus. You got to be a good entrepreneur. And soul, your spirit. Are you feeling good? Like, are you happy with where you're going in life? Like, are you loving what you're doing? If you are going to be somebody who is, gentrifying a neighborhood and then maybe kicking people out of their homes, and you're a spiritual soft empath, it's going to kill your soul. So don't do it. I personally am an empath and I am very spiritual. So for me, what I do is I work very closely with local governments to try to help increase jobs for the locals, job beautification of the neighborhoods, walkability scores, being able to increase tourism. So I feel like I'm helping others, although I'm also helping myself by creating my own portfolio. But at the end of the day, everyone in life is one. And by helping me, I'm helping you. And it's like a beautiful thing. So that works for me. So it's very important to know yourself. Who are you? What type of things do you like to do? Do you like people? Do you not like people? Are you right brain, left brain? What is your zodiac sign? What is your Enneagram? What is your Myers-Briggs personality? What is your DISC assessment? I don't care which one you use. I don't care what chakra you want to talk about. Whatever works for you is your thing. I'm down with it. It's cool with me. Just be you, but know you. Know who you are, okay? When you know who you are, you can pick your method. So for myself, an example, I love people and I love hospitality and I love curating things. I love taking something and like creating something out of it. So I love making websites. I love designing the interior design. I love making buildings. I love creating concepts around hotels. People buy buildings. They call me, what should we do here? We use data science. We come up with ideas. We do market research. It's really so cool. It's so much fun. And then I get to help people create memories. Are you talking? You got engaged in my Airbnb? That's so wonderful. Oh my God, you're due in 9 months and you conceived in my Airbnb. I'm part of your story. It's so beautiful, right? These are things that I love and I think are very important to me in my world. And it gives me purpose behind what I'm doing. It's not just another dollar, another deal. But if you like sitting in an office, all day, white shirt, black pants, running spreadsheets, like maybe your thing is more multifamily. Everyone has to decide what thing is for them, right? Like flipping, you have to be available full-time for. So let's do a quick rundown with all the different types and how they can fit into your personality, because I can talk and talk and talk without any direction. Okay, we're gonna do agent, wholesale, index funds, stock market, options, crypto, flipping, BRRRR, Airbnb, and multifamily. So those are the 7 that we're going to cover. There's also commercial, retail, all that other stuff. If you need me to cover that, put that below. Tell me your asset class and I will cover it. Also, I just had an idea. If you have your personality type, put it down below. I wonder if we're going to all have the same sort of type. I think I am INTP and Enneagram 4. I used to be a 3 with a wing of 2. But with growth, I became a 4. I heard that it happens. Okay. Number 1, agent, real estate agent. Okay. Real estate agent is somebody who doesn't have a high tolerance for risk. You don't necessarily want to be a risk taker. So therefore, what you're going to do is you're going to be focusing on selling other people's property, leasing other people's property, helping people get in, and you're just the middleman and the liaison. It is a very great and easy way to make a good amount of money, because you could make $10 to $40, $50, $60,000 per deal. And then you have your commissions, both your brokerage, et cetera, but you make a really good chunk of money, almost the same amount of wholesaling and flipping as well. So you make the same kind of money, but what you're doing is you're not necessarily taking any risk. You don't have to buy any properties to sell it. You don't have to do any contract assignments or anything of that nature. So that is what it's like to real estate agent. Okay, wholesaling. But let me go back to it for 1 second. As an agent, you need to have 6 to 12 months of money saved up for lead time, or somebody that's willing to support you as you go through that process, because you don't always make money right away. If you do need to make money right away, there are ways such as in-house, but that's for another video. Number 2, wholesaling. Wholesaling is the number one way for the extremely extroverted door knocking person who is just goes out there, got that hustling mentality. I'm going to knock on every door, like very Gary Vee. I'm going to knock on every single door until I get a deal. And you're going through lists and you're cold calling and you're like, do you want to sell? Do you want to sell? And then you find a buyer and then you sign the contract and you do the whole little thing and you make about $10,000, and you can make that in a day, in a week, in a month. It's all on you. So you have to be very self-disciplined, very extroverted, and you are only accountable to you. So that's the wholesaler. Index funds, stocks, crypto I bundle it all together, even though it is not necessarily the same personality type, but that is somebody who's very, numbers driven, financially driven, but has a tinge of like intuition to them. So they understand the psychology and intuition behind people's methods and what they're doing. This is not about, everyone should diversify their money. So there should be a certain amount in index funds that just sits there, just like you also have high yield bank accounts and your IRA and your 401, blah. I'm not going to talk about all of that because I'm not even good at all of that, to be honest with you. But what I'm just good at making money. I just don't know what to do with it. I need to hire a financial advisor. Okay, this is not an ad. All right, so that's the index fund stocks. You have to be really good at money. You have to be willing to see it go up and down, and it cannot be your last $20,000 because you could lose it in a day and then you're screwed and back down to zero. So I always recommend, if you let's say wholesale a deal, take 40% off the top, take what you need for your basic necessity, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You have to make sure you're physiologically taken care of, and then take some off the top and then throw it into the stocks and options. And you have to be willing also to learn a lot, sit and read charts between 9:30 a.m. and 4 p.m. Flipping requires full time, and it requires a very bossy personality. It requires somebody who has their eyes wide open. That means you are going to get played by contractors, even the most novice and the most experts in the field all get screwed from time to time with contractors who don't finish their job or run off with their money and things of that nature. Therefore, it's very important for you as somebody who wants to flip. You love interior design, you're full-time available, you are ready to manage the team. If you don't manage a team, you could still manage the GC, but you have to make sure that you interview and get a very good GC, and you have to be on top of their schedule. Make sure they're not ripping you off with materials and labor. You have to go to the site. I would go once a day, twice a day in the beginning, and then you can slowly go a little bit less. But if you want to expedite this and make the money quickly, I would go every single day for the next 1 to 2 months, or as fast as you can get them to move. If you can do it in 3 months, good for you. Otherwise, they will schlep it out for you for as long as possible. So got to be on that. The BRRRR method. The BRRRR method is for, it's good if you have a W-2, you have a normal job, and you have a little bit of money for down payments. You don't even need money for the down payment because you get hard money. The BRRRR method is the safest and easiest method. It works for most and all personality types. This method is basically, it's a good method. It works. You could do it while you have a job. You could do it full time, and you could do 1 a month. You could do it part time and do a couple a year. You just, you have to be out there. You have to network with the wholesalers. You have to be able to speak to them, and you have to find the deal. You have to be able to crunch the numbers correctly, have the confidence to move forward, buy it, renovate it, refinance it. It could be done at your pace, at whatever pace you need. Most refinancing is a 6-month seasoning period. There are a lot of vendors that will give you no seasoning period. So you have to go through all of that, but it works for most personality types. And I definitely think that my cash flow is Airbnb, but my long-term are BRRRR, but with kind of multifamilies. I don't really like single family homes, my personal preference. The last one is multifamilies. Multifamilies is for the corporate type. You're good at being in the corporate type, you're good at it. This is your thing. This is your jam. You like it. You're not creative, artistic soul like I am, free flowing. And so you want to be able to, sit in an office all day long. You want to look at spreadsheets, but you also want to hit the road. You also want to see opportunity. You also have the ability to see value add. You have to have a very strong personality. You have to understand how to utilize your divine masculine skills that are within all of us, your divine masculine characteristics. You have to learn how to have tough skin. You have to keep going at it, and you have to be prepared not to make money for the first 1 to 2 years. And I'm not only saying that to be cautious, does not mean that you won't be able to make money quicker. You can. And there's a lot of different ways to do it. You could work with people who are already in the industry and sort of help them out and get sweat equity. There's a lot of different things to do. A lot of people that are JVing multifamily deals are getting sweat equity, but what people don't understand is they don't get dividends usually. And then they get paid out when the building sells. Now, if you're really young and maybe your parents are supporting you, you could do it. If you really need money, then this is not for you. You need to focus on like the cash flow and like the instant stuff. But I'm talking about, we're in like the personality type thing now. So we're going to focus on that. But the multifamily is really, I would say, your personality type. Either you just like deals, you like money, you like playing Monopoly, you got that smart strategic mind, that's your thing, you're very analytical, good for you. It's not for people like myself who's like creative. I would buy a multifamily building, be like, oh my God, can I do this? Can I do that? And they're like, no, that's not the bottom line, right? It's really for the people that are very, they want to crush it, they want to win, they want to be a multimillionaire. And that's the kind of lifestyle that they want to live. And so that is the multifamily buyer. I hope this made sense. And I hope that going through this 3 steps that I laid out, you have a better idea of what type of investor you should do. Because if you want to sustain in this, you have to be able to do something that you love doing, because you're going to do this every single freaking day. Do you realize this? Every single day, you're going to be doing the same thing. Not the exact same thing, but like, this is it. So I could do Airbnb forever. I really could, because I'm doing apartments now, moving into hotels. It's exciting, new markets. I love it, and I will always love it. But you have to do something that you really, really love. But obviously, number 2 was all about, what do you need, right? First, you got to take care of your needs. Maslow's hierarchy of physiological needs. Like, what are your needs? Do you have money to put bread on the table? Can you pay rent? So that's number 2. And now that you know what's important to you, do not go to the gym. Do not go to Instagram and TikTok and even here on YouTube and just start following some guy's advice because he decides to wear his like suit and Rolex and flash a Lamborghini that is probably not even his, and you know what I'm saying? And then follow their method and say, if he did it, I could do it. No, if he did it, yes, you could do it. Proof of concept. Anyone can do anything they put their mind to, but you have to do your workout routine. You have to eat your foods for your body type, for your genetic disposition, for your personality, and for who you are. So if you really want to win at this game, you need to find out what strategy works best for your personality and for your immediate needs, and then for your long-term needs as well. Anyways, have a happy investing, and ask me any questions below, and I'll do my very best. Oh, and please subscribe. Thank you.